Cotter, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri. How are things in St. Louis?
Well, the weather has been really cold for a long time, but there's this nice flu outbreak that got to me. So
Nice.
yeah, if I can't talk as well as I want,
Okay.
sorry. But yeah,
Well,
no, I've been looking a lot into esports. So
nice. Well, hopefully, hopefully the downtime lets you get excited and hyped for LCS. I do like, by the way, that by the end of these episodes, I feel like I can do a weather map of all sorts of areas around the U.S. Connor, in a second, Loco's going to get off his phone so that he can catch your question or your topic. But what would you like to bring up?
I I honestly think that NA easily makes it out of groups this year at Worlds. I
Woohoo! Okay.
almost I almost think I think we might make semis. I just think we NA gained a lot of talent this off season. So
Well, so we've made it out of groups every year, or for the last 2 years.
Like 59.
So doing that isn't necessarily an improvement, but do you feel like we'll have more than one team make it out, or do you mean
that
all the teams?
I think that's more what I meant. Yeah, I think there's going to be at least two teams that make it out of groups this year. I
Okay.
think we go past quarters because we've been capped at quarterfinals this year.
Okay.
I see a lot of new talent. It's great.
Yeah. Well, you're lighting up our Twitch chat like maybe no other caller has so far. So what? Yeah, go ahead and make your argument. You said a lot of talent, but can you expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, like we cut out a lot of the players that were like just didn't perform very well. Seraph is one that comes to my mind really quickly. I don't know. I remember him being bad, but Seraph, Intori, a lot of these players that got memed, Golden Glue, a lot of this Team Liquid Lock roster that I'm looking at. I have the rosters pulled up so I don't say something stupid.
Sure.
Um,
I should do
yeah,
that
I
more
just
often.
yeah. Also, we signed a lot of like the top EU talent. So sorry, EU. We kind of just like stole from you guys, but I think I don't know. And the format of NALCS kind of goes towards it too, with it being best of ones now, and that's how Worlds is kind of played.
I mean, a lot of
I
people
mean,
would disagree with you because they would say that we're going to have a lot less practice because we won't have as many games and all that kind of thing. Do you disagree with that, Connor?
I think the majority of, I mean, if I'm not mistaken about how orgs work, but I still think they're going to get a lot of scrims in, and that's where a lot of their practice comes in.
Yeah.
So I don't see them getting, they might have less time on stage, but
I
even
would
then,
love
it's
to
more important to tell.
I would love to ask Loco Doco about that. How important do you think best of three regular season stage time was to a team's overall practice?
Important. Playing, you learn a lot on stage, definitely. I mean, it's important. I can't put a number on it, but it is important.
Do you think it's the kind of thing though where like you would look at the change from best of three to best of one and be like, this is actively bad for North America to the point where it will have tangible negative results for our region?
No, I don't think it's gonna make that big of a ripple. No way.
So there you go. It sucks. I agree. It's not as nice as best of three, but it's not. And no one should lose internationally and come back and say, "Well, fuck, our region's best of one."
Okay. Tony told me to put the box cutter down. I'm doing that right now.
You listen to him and not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tony's my boss,
Is that
along
wait,
with Connor.
interesting? I
Okay.
didn't know.
Hey, Connor. So one thing you mentioned was NA teams are going to get out of groups because there's so much talent. I feel like the Korean teams upgraded their roster, and China has been consistently getting better, and them weeding out Korean imports and going all Chinese for a lot of the teams actually strength, strengthens a lot of the teams. And EU, every year people say it's the end of EU, they lost so much talent, but the EU rookies rise up and replace them very well. So it's not NA's competing versus NA is competing versus these other reasons. Do you think the upgrades that NA's made is going to put them over? Because you're not considering what the other reasons are doing or how they got better.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't I don't follow other regions too closely. I take a look at these
So
like
it's a
a
gut
lot of
feeling.
it yeah, I guess that's where I have to say. I mean, for some reason like I have this gut feeling that the week 2 curse is dropping. Like, that's always a big meme is the week 2. I have a gut feeling that that's gonna stop
Do you know
because
why week 2 curse happens for NA?
I mean, it's an attitude thing. I don't. If they get cocky, it has to be different for different
They
teams.
NA
But
usually gets shit on, or NA doesn't like. They do decent, but I don't think they do well enough to get cocky. I don't think that's the reason.
Loco, what do you think is the reason why teams don't do well second week?
So I don't think Korea or China naturally are very like smarter strategically about League of Legends, but they're more unified and they're more one voice, and it's a lot easier to adapt with one voice telling you what to do more so than a lot of um, democratic approach that NA usually takes.
Hmm. So do you? Here's a question for you, Loco. So it sounds like you disagree with Connor's assessment that NA will perform better at Worlds this year.
I
Uh,
think NA has a potential to, but I think his reasonings are bad.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Loco's saying it's not due to roster moves if we perform better.
Okay.
Mostly.
So what, Loco? What do you think would allow NA to perform better this year at Worlds?
I mean, better coaching and more structure. But NA, the power for player versus coaches is very shifted towards players in general right now. And
Is that why you have the box cutter?
oh my god, no, I think our team actually, I love coaching our team. Our team gives me the respect I feel like I deserve, and I love being here. I would never cut them with a box cutter.
Oh, you think the police are gonna watch this or something?
yeah.
It wasn't me, officer. Look,
Yeah.
I said 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think he's worried that Hunter or somebody at Golden State Warriors. He's like, no, didn't you see the part where I said explicitly I would never cut them with a box cutter?
No, I think what will allow NA to do better at Worlds, which is somewhat happening already, is good NA talent not having jobs on LCS teams. So someone like, well, I guess Froggen's a bad example. He's not an NA talent, but someone like Froggen not having a job, and a lot of the NA players not having a job. When there is more capable players than there is spots, there's competition for the spots. And when there's competition for the spots, the bar rises up more and more so. And as we invest more into academy and as we get more and more capable players and the competition becomes tougher and tougher in NA to hold an LCS spot, the overall league, the bar for the league rises and we get better and better teams.
Doesn't that sound a lot like what Connor said, though? Connor basically said we have imported a lot of really good talent, and so theoretically we're a stronger region because we've got better talent. You're saying, look,
Importing
there are
talent
good.
doesn't make your talent pool deeper. It makes you better temporarily, and that's not how you do better at Worlds.
But aren't a lot of the good NA players that don't have jobs right now or are competing for jobs? Haven't they been pushed out by immigrant players? Is it to bring a little bit of a political approach to this?
How long do these imports stay here? How long do these imports actually invest into NA and make the NA teams better? They're not the long-term future for the NA teams. Like the long-term future for the NA teams are the younger LCS players or the academy players that the teams are investing into that will get better and that will compete for spots in the future.
Yeah, I just feel like you mentioned Froggen, and let's just say he isn't an NA player. It feels like one of the reasons Froggen isn't here is because now we've got Fabiven and Power of Evil over
So we
here.
replace one import with another import. That doesn't raise the strength of NA overall.
Okay.
It's the lower tier players getting better, and it's the younger and the new talent getting better and better and being more competitive.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. Connor, thank you so much for calling in. We got a couple remaining callers, but thank you again for reaching out.
yeah, no problem. All right.
Have a good one.